Hello, my name is Lindsay Gooden, and I am a kindergarten teacher at Mimosa Elementary School. Welcome to my presentation. Today, we are going to conduct a data overview of Mimosa Elementary School. First, I want to discuss why we are doing a data overview and who it's for. This presentation is intended for the school improvement team, curriculum coaches, and school administration. It might be helpful to review this in a PLC. The purpose of this presentation is to first highlight demographic and achievement data, identify strengths in the data over the past 3 years, and to identify areas for improvement. What are we going to look at during this data overview? Well, we're going to look closely at school demographics, focusing on students and certified teachers. We're going to look at school attendance data and 3rd to 5th grade Georgia Milestones scores. We're also going to look at goals to support a future school improvement plan. The data we're looking at today has been pulled from the 2016 school year, 2017 school year, and 2018 school year. These are some questions for us to focus on to drive our analysis today. How are we doing as a school? What trends do you notice? What are we doing well? And why might that be according to current practices? Who is underperforming, and how can we better serve these students? What can we do to improve, and how can it be measured? What is the plan for students who are not meeting learning goals? To get us started with the demographics section, let me tell you a little about Mimosa Elementary. The school opened in 1968. It's located in Roswell, Georgia, a suburb of Atlanta. We have pre-K through 5th grade, and we're very proud of our dual language immersion program. We're a Title I school, and we're located within Fulton County Schools, and we're in the Zone 5 cluster. Mimosa Elementary School enrollment. Looking at school enrollment data, it's noticeable that our school-wide enrollment is declining each year. From the 2016-17 school year to the 2018-19 school year, enrollment has decreased by 8%. Let's break it down a little bit and look into enrollment by race or ethnicity. What do you notice? Feel free to pause the video at any time and take a moment to really look into the graphs. Looking at this breakdown of Mimosa Elementary School enrollment by race or ethnicity, you can see that the majority of the student population is Hispanic or Latino, and the second largest group of students are Black or African American. These 3 donut graphs show Mimosa Elementary School enrollment by subgroup. The subgroups included are students receiving special education services, students receiving ESOL services, and students that qualify for free and reduced lunch. What do you notice? The number of students receiving special education services has decreased by 1.3% since the 2016-17 school year. The number of students receiving ESOL services has increased by 7.3% since the 2016-17 school year. The number of students receiving free and reduced lunch remains the majority. Let's see who's coming to school. This Mimosa Elementary School attendance graph shows the percentage of students that are absent. And sadly, you can see that most of these categories have increased from 2016 to 2018 school years. Looking at school attendance by subgroup, we can compare the Hispanic or Latino attendance to those students that are non-Hispanic or Latino, and Hispanic Latino student attendance has higher percentage of 5 or less days absent. Non-Hispanic or Latino student attendance has higher percentages in more than 15 days absent and chronic absences. What can we do to decrease the amount of absences we're starting to see? Maybe we can incentivize students using our school positive behavior system and give students points for coming to school that they can use shopping in our PBIS school store. Mimosa Elementary School teacher demographics. Let's look over here first at the number of certified teachers at Mimosa Elementary School by year. From the 2016-17 school year to the 2018-19 school year, we gained 2 certified teacher positions. The middle graph depicts the gender of certified teachers at Mimosa Elementary School by year. The majority of certified teachers are female, and only about 7% of certified teachers are male. The last graph shows the race and ethnicity breakdown of certified teachers at Mimosa Elementary School by year. The breakdown stays consistent within a few percent from the years shown, with the majority being white teachers, followed by Black or African American teachers, Hispanic teachers, Asian teachers, Native American teachers, and multiracial teachers. Mimosa Elementary School's teachers' years of experience. Check out this line graph. The number of teachers with less than a year decreased by 8% since the 2016-17 school year. The number of teachers with 2 to 10 years of experience increased by 3% since the 2016-17 school year. The number of teachers with 21 to 30 years of experience has increased by 4% since the 2016-17 school year. Before we dive into our student achievement data, I want to look at our Mimosa Elementary School improvement goals. Semester Action Plan Student Achievement Goal. 80% of all students will demonstrate proficiency 80% or higher on exit tickets and unit assessments in reading, math, and science. By January 2019, 80% of kindergarten through 5th grade students will meet their typical growth, and 100% of Tier 3 students will meet their stretch growth as measured by the mid-year reading math diagnostic on iReady. By December 2019, we will have 100% implementation of school-wide data utilization to increase overall data literacy and utilization. Professional Learning Plan Student Achievement Goal. To increase scores on Lexile levels on GMAS for students in 3rd through 5th grades. Understanding scores on the Georgia Milestones. If you are unfamiliar with scoring the Georgia Milestones, feel free to pause the video here and read through these proficiency levels. As we begin our data dive, I want you to keep these things in mind. How is each grade level doing compared to the county? What trends do you notice? What are we doing well? Who is underperforming, and how can we better serve these students? These are the 3rd grade math milestone scores at Mimosa Elementary School on the left and Fulton County as a whole on the right. You can see that we have more beginning and developing learners, and the county has more proficient and distinguished learners. These are the 3rd grade ELA milestone scores. Just like the last slide, on the left you can see Mimosa Elementary scores, and on the right you can see Fulton County scores. And I'm beginning to see a trend with Mimosa Elementary having more beginning and developing learners, and the county having a higher percentage of proficient and distinguished learners. According to the 4th grade math milestone scores at Mimosa Elementary and the 4th grade math milestone scores in Fulton County, the county has more students meeting proficiency in math, but from the 2016-17 school year to the 2018-19 school year, proficiency scores at Mimosa Elementary School have increased by 8%, and the distinguished scores have increased by 6%. 4th grade ELA milestone scores. It seems that we are continuing the trend I noticed before in the beginning and developing student percentages. If you look closely at both Mimosa Elementary School's distinguished learners and the Fulton County School's distinguished learners, you can see a dip in the data during the 2017-18 school year. Even though the county has a higher overall percentage during the 2018-19 school year, our percentage is a higher increase of 3%, while Fulton County schools increased only by 1%. Looking at the 5th grade math milestone scores at Mimosa Elementary School on the left, I'm starting to notice this shift of beginning learners to developing learners. We have a lot more developing learners now. During the 2018-19 school year, Mimosa Elementary School has a 2% higher percentage of proficient students than the county does. And I'm noticing an upward trend of distinguished student score percentages. 5th grade ELA milestone scores. The 5th grade ELA milestone scores at Mimosa Elementary seems inconsistent because there's a decrease in proficient learners, but an increase of distinguished learners. Mimosa Elementary School increased its distinguished learners by 4% from the 2016-17 school years to the 2018-19 school year. Milestone comparisons. How do we measure up? How do Mimosa Elementary School students compare to students across Fulton County and compare to students across the state? On the left, you can see the 3rd grade milestone comparisons data for the 2018-19 school year. At the top, you can see the math data, and on the bottom, you can see the ELA data. On the right-hand side, you can see the 4th grade milestone comparison data for the 2018-19 school year. Mimosa Elementary School significantly underperformed compared to both the county and the state in 3rd grade math and ELA, as well as 4th grade math and ELA. Mimosa Elementary School 4th grade students were closer to meeting county and state math scores than 3rd grade students. Looking at the 5th grade milestones comparison data for the 2018-19 school year, Mimosa Elementary School 5th grade students underperformed the county by 3% on the math milestones, but scored 4% higher than the state. Mimosa Elementary School 5th grade students scored 30% on the ELA milestones, which is lower than both county and state percentages. However, 30% is higher than ELA scores in 3rd and 4th grades at Mimosa Elementary School. To summarize our findings from our data overview, there has been an increase in 3rd grade and 5th grade math milestones proficiency from 2016-17 school year to the 2018-19 school year. There has been an increase in 4th grade ELL milestones proficiency from 2016-17 school year to the 2018-19 school year. 3rd and 5th grade ELA student performance is inconsistent. Compared to all students in Fulton County and all students in the state of Georgia during the 2018-19 school year, Mimosa Elementary students in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades underperformed in both math and ELA, with the exception of 5th grade math milestone scores being higher than the state. Let's review those goals that correspond with our milestone data. I've highlighted them here in pink. By December 2019, we will have 100% implementation of school-wide data utilization to increase overall data literacy and utilization, increase scores on Lexile levels on GMAS for students in 3rd grade through 5th grade. I think those are still very relevant goals that we should be working on. Let's take action. As a school, we need to continue to utilize summative, informative data to drive all instruction and remediation across all subjects, but especially in ELA and math. I think it's important that we provide new teachers professional development on the balanced literacy model that we use, including modeled reading, shared reading, guided reading, and independent reading. This will help more of our students reach that proficient learner level. We should continue the use of exit tickets in math and running records in reading as they support tracking progression towards learning goals. We should continue the LETRS training provided by Fulton County Schools to gain deeper understanding of the science of reading. We need to update a school improvement plan to include the milestones and have specific SMART goals that can be measured annually. We need to make sure that our diverse learners are supported. Thank you for joining me on this data overview journey. If you have any takeaways or questions, feel free to reach out and share them with me. Bye!